Future. Cultivate, grow, succeed.
Countdown to showtime. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3. We'll be the
Idaho FFA, get loud because it's time for the first general session of the 95th annual Idaho FFA State Convention. Your state sentinel from the Meridian FFA chapter, Allie Eisenheimer. Your state reporter from the American Falls FFA chapter, Anna Hernandez.
stop until we break through.
Your state treasurer from the Meridian FFA chapter, Gabe Kitamura.
Still the best.
Your state secretary from the Preston FFA chapter, Emily Morrison. Your state vice president from the Salmon FFA chapter, Lizzie Mueller. And your state president from the Melba FFA chapter, Matthew White.
These facts is keeping laces up and free slave.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding this, the first general session of the 95th Idaho FFA State Convention. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there.
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there.
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice is always based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep the plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will now call the roll of members.
There are 1,930 registered members and guests, Mr. President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice
Brotherhood, on agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which FFA members possess.
May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this, the first general session of the 95th Idaho FFA State Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. Idaho FFA, welcome to the 95th Idaho FFA State Convention.
Moments, they make memories. They fill us with joy, they deepen our connections, and they instill within us passions that carry far beyond the experience. Moments and memories, they're what make the journey worthwhile.
Overcome isn't just something we do. It's something we become. In the moments that test us, when the weight feels heavy and the outcome uncertain, we discover strength we didn't know we had. And one day, what once felt impossible becomes the very proof that we can rise, grow, and overcome again.
A mission is more than just a goal. It's a purpose with a direction. It's why you show up when things get hard. It's a standard that you live by even when nobody is watching. A mission doesn't just shape the things that we do, it shapes the people that we become. And in this moment, what is your mission?
To embrace something means to fully accept it with eagerness and enthusiasm. Being in the moment requires the same willingness to step into what is happening now instead of focusing on the past or even the future. When we choose to embrace the moment, we are allowing ourselves to fully experience it.
Be where your feet are, because this moment is the only one that is truly yours. When you choose to live in the now, you stop chasing what was and worrying about what might be. Being in the moment isn't about ignoring the future, it's about fully embracing the present so it can shape what comes next.
Everyone knows that moments, both big and small, are better when shared with the people we care about. Together isn't just a word, it's a sense of unity and closeness that binds together each and every moment. So let's make the most of these moments by spending them together.
What better duo to lead this session than the two about as old as FFA themselves? One still thinks he's young and hip, and the other walks as if she's missing hers. Idaho FFA, let's feel the nostalgia and welcome your session one chairs, Matt and Allie.
Allie, why do you look so old?
Hey, I may be the oldest on the team, but that does not make me geriatric. You look like you've got grays coming out of your ears.
What?
You're graying!
Maybe this past year's aged us.
Well, we may as well embrace this new age. Sit around in sweatpants, complain about people on our lawns, and think back through our favorite memories through the decades.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Idaho FFA, get ready because it's time for the first general session of the 95th annual Idaho FFA State Convention.
In this session, we'll hear from our session sponsors, welcome a new chapter into Idaho FFA, and recognize our advisors who've been there for every moment. We also have the privilege of hearing from National FFA Southern Region Vice President T. Wayne Williams as he provides remarks.
To start this moment off, let's get ready to hear the national anthem performed by Blaine Mossman of the Nez Perce FFA chapter. Please rise and join us in a salute to our flag as the colors are posted by the Twin Falls City Honors Guard and the national anthem is played.
God bless America, my home sweet home. From the mountains to the great, to the oceans, America, my home sweet home. Thank you to Blaine Mossman for performing the national anthem. Let's give him one last round of applause. Guys, where's Alvin? I swear I just saw her down at the roller rink.
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing much, just listen to my favorite part of the 70s, my mellow tunes.
Like what?
Like this.
Huh, groovy. But I don't think that's from the 70s. I was thinking something more like this.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
Yeah, but I'd much rather hear from our session sponsors. We're grateful for the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation and the Young Farmers and Ranchers for. Let's listen to a message.
I really wish there was something like FFA after high school.
Don't you know about YFNR?
No, what's that?
YFNR is a group for young adults who are passionate about agriculture.
It connects people to people through advocacy and networking. There are events and opportunities to learn and connect with others.
I'm Sadie, and you should come check it out at BYUI.
I'm Eliza, and you should definitely come check it out here at CSI.
I'm Katie, and you should come check it out at the University of Idaho.
Thank you to the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation and the Young Farmers and Ranchers for their continuous support of Idaho FFA, its members, and the entire agricultural industry. Let's give one last round of applause for such great sponsors. Baby, don't hurt me no more. Don't hurt me no more. Yo, check out this new game I got, Space Invaders.
Tubular. This arcade is rad. Definitely my favorite part of the 80s.
It reminds me of all the things we did in our spare moments. The pranks, the random games.
Like when we went bowling,
Or ice skating.
or when we drank lemon juice as punishment for getting distracted.
Gabe, how many lemon shots have you done now?
That is
The JCPenney photo shoot.
And tug of war.
Those moments were epic. Plus, it was a great opportunity to bond and meet new people.
Speaking of totally epic groups of people, I can think of some who've decided to pop in a quarter and press play on their FFA journey. Today, we get to welcome a new chapter to our association, and I know they're going to bring the energy. So let's welcome our newly chartered chapter to the stage.
From the North Idaho District, the Lewiston FFA chapter. Let's congratulate the Lewiston FFA chapter as they are welcomed into the Idaho FFA Association.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city on rock and roll.
Our next speaker is the reason we are able to use these amazing facilities here at the College of Southern Idaho. Let's welcome President Dean Fisher to the stage.
Well, good evening. Is this on? We'll make this fairly straightforward and direct. You are very, very welcome here at the College of Southern Idaho, and we are always excited when you arrive. I think Matt's probably backstage, but the next time he needs gray hair or expertise on 70s music, I'm available to you all. And by the way, that was Starship that was playing as we were walking on. A few just serious notes. There's a lot of bad news that sometimes we get. You turn on the television, you listen to the radio, and you get all of the negativity about the future. And one of the things that I get to enjoy as a college president and seeing the students that come through these doors every day is I have a lot of positivity about the future because I get to be around students like you, students like the college students that you'll interact with over the next several days. And so I want you to know that I have great optimism in the future because of you. I think that you've got the capacity to solve the problems of the future, and I'm very excited that we can be a part of that. Now, there's something that is rumored about FFA is that you can make some noise. So this is me on caffeine. But I'm going to guess, based on what I've seen over the course of these several years of FFA being here, that you can make a lot more noise than I can. So let's celebrate you being here. Let's celebrate the College of Southern Idaho being your host, and let's make some noise. and I don't control the weather. Sorry about the rain. I saw some of you running toward your buses outside of the Fine Arts Building earlier. Um, Umbrellas, I'm sure, are on sale at Walmart or Fred Meyer. Have a wonderful convention. You're always welcome here.
We just wanted to say thank you, President Fisher, for welcoming us onto your campus every year so we can hold our convention.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Gonna go this way. As of state convention, Idaho FFA membership has reached a total of 5,938 members.
We are so proud of the chapters that have helped us reach this number of 5,938. In fact, 41 chapters out of 102 have gained membership this year. Let's turn our attention to the screen as we recognize those chapters who have grown in membership this year. If you see your chapter's name on the screen, please stand as we celebrate with a round of applause. All these pesky kids need to get off my lawn. They aren't welcome here. But you know who is always welcoming? The lovely city of Twin Falls. They're always so hospitable, allowing us to come together and celebrate our accomplishments and live in this moment. As we're here this week, let's be mindful of the names on the back of our jackets as well as the front, along with the city we get to take over.
We are incredibly grateful to so many amazing leaders in this city that welcome us every year. We are proud to have one of those leaders, the Mayor of Twin Falls, with us here tonight. Idaho FFA, let's welcome Mayor Jason Brown to the stage.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that welcome. Let's give it up for the College of Southern Idaho one more time. Appreciate them hosting this. You know, it is an event every year that we look forward to inside of the city of Twin Falls, seeing the future and the enthusiasm that you bring into our city is really wonderful. You know, as I was thinking about what I wanted to say tonight and kind of to point out a couple of things inside the city that I'm proud of, there are really two statues that I really think that you need to go by in your time here and really think about how those two individuals changed the trajectory here in Southern Idaho. The first one is I.B. Prine, or Ira Burton Prine statue down by the visitor center. You'll see I.B. Prine's statue there. You'll also look at the Prine Bridge. I.B. Prine started what we know now today as the Twin Falls Canal Company, and he also helped found the city of Twin Falls. And the other one is the John Hayes statue right downtown by the Commons area. He was the surveyor that landed the first survey point inside of the city of Twin Falls. And the reason I bring at least Ira Burton Prine up is because he had a vision. He looked out at the arid desert of what is now Southern Idaho, and he could see the luscious farm and the agriculture that could become to this area because of water. So I will not apologize for the weather because we need as much rain as we possibly can at this particular moment in time. But I think as you stand by those two statues, I think each of you individually have an opportunity to have your own vision in life. You're learning values and standards through the FFA that will carry you on throughout the rest of your lives. And so stand and learn about those two individuals and how they affected the generations after them. I'm so proud of agriculture inside of the city of Twin Falls. We wouldn't have the world's largest yogurt factory. We wouldn't have Glanbia's United States headquarters, and we wouldn't have one of Lamb Weston's largest manufacturing facilities in here without agriculture. And you really are the future of agriculture. As you stand here, whether that you go into owning your own business, continue to run your family farm, or find another way to be impactful. So welcome to the city of Twin Falls. Enjoy and have a great time. Thank you.
We're going to thank you one last time. Thank you so much, Mayor Brown, for your generosity and hospitality during our time at State Convention. We're grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Can I go this way?
I've been fighting for this. Just get high.
Ah, the 90s, my personal favorite.
The era of Blockbuster, Nintendo, and disposable cameras.
Those cameras sure came in handy when we clipped each other in the best and worst moments.
Yeah, like when Gabe found out he wasn't going to be the only guy on the team.
Or when you and Gabe were housing some pretty good food in DC.
Emily's hair at State Soils.
Those memories are great, but they wouldn't have been made possible without our amazing Idaho Career Technical Education supporters.
Just as we've been exploring the decades of the past, the Idaho Division of Career Technical Education supports our students so that we are able to learn new skills right in the classroom and explore career paths that interest us. We're pleased to be joined by Peter Reese, the administrator of the Idaho Division of Career Technical Education. His role focusing on managing agency direction, government relationships, and business and employer engagement to help move forward career and technical education in Idaho. So please help me in joining Mr. Peter Reese to the stage.
Anyone can see the road. It's always
all right, so it's nice to see that you guys are setting this up so that President Fisher was a child of the 70s. I happen to be the guy from the 90s, although I am aging terribly, so I'm working on that. Thank you so much for having me, Matt. Thank you for introducing me. I'm trying not to take any offense to your and Allie's depiction of slightly diminished elderly gentlemen like myself. So thank you, everybody, and welcome to the 2026 FFA State Leadership Conference. Again, I'm Peter Reese, and I have the absolute privilege of serving as the state administrator for the Idaho Division of Career Technical Education. We support Idaho's economy, post-secondary, and adult CTE programs, including our 7 career technical student organizations like FFA. Before we get started tonight, I want to recognize people who make this conference possible. First, please join me in thanking your FFA officer team for their leadership and dedication in planning and executing this conference. And thank you. Good job. And I want to personally thank your leadership team for the dedication and support that they have provided to CTE this year. FFA leadership shows up. They represent the very best of what's possible for young adults, and they influence others through their positive presence. They deserve a big hand. So let's do it again. Thank you. I'd also like to take a chance to thank our IDCTE team and the advisors who mentor and support the officers throughout the year. Will you do that? Right on. And next, and very importantly, thank you to our judges and industry partners for volunteering their time and their expertise to provide meaningful feedback. And finally, to our advisors, can you please stand up if you're an advisor so we can recognize you here? All right. Yeah. That's great. Your guidance and encouragement help our students to grow into confident leaders and advocates for their communities, and we appreciate that very much. This year's conference theme is In the Moment. It's a simple idea, but it carries real weight. Being in the moment means showing up fully, whether that's in a competition room, a leadership session, or a conversation with somebody new. It means paying attention, listening closely, and taking ownership of this opportunity that's sitting in front of you right now. Too often we focus on what's next, the next event, the next award, the next step in life. In the process, we often miss the moments that make life so special. Growth does not happen in the future, my friends. It happens right here, right now, and the decisions you make and the effort you bring to each moment. FFA is built on that idea. Every experience, preparing for competition, working on a project, leading a team requires presence. It requires you to engage, to adapt, and respond in real time. This conference will give you that opportunity. You'll be challenged to apply your knowledge, demonstrate your skills, and represent your chapters. Just as important, you'll be asked to learn from feedback from each other and from the experience itself. When you plug into this moment, you don't just learn, you grow, you lead, and you make a real impact. Being in the moment also means recognizing the people around you. This organization is built on community, our shared effort, mutual support, and a commitment to something bigger than ourselves. The connections you make here matter in ways that you may not realize for years. In my role, I get to spend time with elected officials from all over the state. The number of blue jackets I see in legislative offices is a testament to the enduring power that FFA provides to members as they grow to be engaged members of society and in service to others. But you don't get there unless you engage in moments like this. The skills you're developing, leadership, communication, problem solving, and resilience are not abstract. They're practical, they are portable, and it will shape the future of agriculture, industry, and your communities. I cannot overstate how important it is at this time in our history. My friends, make no mistake, your active participation in CTE programs like FFA have placed you on a premier pathway to prosperity for you, your families, the state, and our nation. What does premier pathway mean? It's not just a pretty slogan I say to make you feel better or feel good. Here's what it means in real terms, in real-time data. This is fresh just last month from our analysis of what's going on in the state with higher education, secondary, et cetera. What we found is that CTE concentrators score 22% higher in math. Give that a cheer. That deserves it. Right? You score higher, 14% higher in English and reading. Right? 2% higher in science. Got a little work to do there, right? Good. And you will graduate from high school at a rate 8% higher than your non-CTE peers. Folks, that is real power. And I want you to own it, okay? I want you to be loud. I know you can do that. I can hear you. Can we hear that? I don't hear anything. All right, come on. Let's give it up. There it is. All right, thanks. In this moment, we support each other so that we compete anywhere, anytime. And we're here for you on that. By sharing your ideas and learning together and helping each other improve, you strengthen not only yourselves, but the impact that FFA members make across Idaho and on a national and increasingly global stage. As you move through this conference, I encourage you to stay present and challenge yourself to grow. Take it seriously, and most importantly, take it all in. Contribute. You have earned it. You've earned your place to be here. And because your potential matters, you are our greatest asset. Whether that's in your community, in this state, or in this nation, you are our greatest asset. And I want you always to remember that. What you do in this moment is completely up to you, though. I encourage you to take it and run with it. And with that, best of luck to all of you, and welcome to the conference.
All right. Yes, sir. You stay on stage. Thank you to Mr. Reese for the continued support and work you do with Idaho FFA. I must say it's been a pleasure working with you this year, and we look forward to a bright future for Idaho CTE.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Crash here tonight. You can see no sheep. Anyway, I've got no place to go. It's
From helping countless members receive their American degrees to being there for our deepest questions, our memories this year would not be complete without our mentor, Janine. Idaho FFA, let's get ready to welcome the Idaho FFA State Advisor and Program Quality Manager for Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources, Janine Hodges.
Good evening, Idaho FFA. See if I can get this a little higher. There we go. It's truly an honor to be here with you today at the Idaho FFA State Convention. My name is Janine Hodges, and I have the privilege of serving as the serving all of our agriculture education students across the state as the Program Quality Manager for Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources, and your State FFA Advisor. Each year, this convention marks something special. It's a pause in the calendar and a moment where thousands of members come together from every corner of Idaho to celebrate growth, leadership, and possibility. There were early morning chores, chapter lunch meetings, after school practices, countless hours spent updating AET record books, and there's no doubt that you've worked hard to be here. For the next few days, this space is here for you to learn, to connect, and to recognize just how far you've come. I have some stats for you guys. This year alone, Idaho FFA members generated more than $11.6 million in total SAE economic value. Go ahead and give that a round of applause. That's significant. That means you guys have directly contributed to the agricultural economy in this state. You're turning learning into real-world impact through entrepreneurship, placement, and research experiences across our state. That number represents long days, problem solving, skill building, and pride in work well done. And beyond your own projects, you showed up for others. You logged over 10,000 hours of community service. Let's give that a round of applause. You guys give your time, you give your energy, and you give your leadership skills to places that needed it. Whether that looked like food drives, local town cleanups, or larger days of service projects, those hours tell a story of service, generosity, and leadership that exceeds far beyond the classroom. But while the numbers are impressive, they don't fully capture this moment and what it represents. This convention isn't just about awards, competitions, or schedules packed from morning to night. It's about recognizing the growth that happens when you lean into every opportunity presented to you. When you choose to be engaged and intentional in the moment that you are in right now. Over the next few days, I encourage you to fully take this experience in. Celebrate you and your fellow chapter members' achievements. Support one another. Learn something new, whether it's about agriculture, about leadership, or about yourself. You are a part of an organization that is founded on belief in the individual's capacity for personal growth. Take a moment, look around, left and right, folks, left and right. You are surrounded by over 1,000 peers, advisors, and agricultural advocates today who believe in your potential and are waiting to see how you carry this week's momentum forward. Thank you for the energy, purpose, and heart that you bring to Idaho FFA. I am proud of you, I believe in you, and I cannot wait to see how you continue to lead, not just here this week, but wherever your path takes you next. Welcome to the 2026 Idaho FFA State Convention.
Janine, we just wanted to say thank you for being there for the team and being there for Idaho FFA. You've put so many hours into improving our organization, and it's been amazing.
We would like to recognize our Courtesy Corps members who help out during this busy week of convention. Hosting almost 2,000 members isn't an easy task, and we truly appreciate those who volunteer their time to ensure success. If you're a member of the Courtesy Corps, please stand to be recognized.
The main purpose of holding convention each year is to conduct delegate business. Being a student-led organization, each chapter sends 2 delegates to represent their student voice in the delegate business sessions. They will meet 3 times this week, and today we kicked off our first delegate session of convention. Delegates, please stand to be recognized.
State officer advisors, please make your way backstage.
Hey, Allie, you want to know my favorite part of the 2000s? Going to the movies.
Yes, the popcorn, the candy, the drinks, and endless amounts of butter.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was thinking about the countless rom-coms that have become timeless classics.
Life feels like a rom-com whenever you and Gabe get together. The romance is real.
Well, when you're the only 2 guys on the team, you tend to get pretty close.
I think I'd rather think about the movies now. Speaking of good movies, all good movies tend to come with some pretty great directors. And I can think of some great directors in our lives, our advisors. They've seen the behind the scenes of the highs and lows of our FFA journeys. They were there for every moment that counts. So join us as we take a hike down memory lane.
To our advisors, who rarely get the recognition they deserve, we thank you for your countless hours put in after school and countless gray hairs grown on our behalf. We wouldn't be who we are today without you, and the impact you have made on our lives stretch far beyond what the eye can see. Nesbitt, no amount of Coca-Cola and Tootsie Rolls could pay back how much I owe you after all these years. Thank you for being there through my ups and downs, every single incessant question, allergic reaction, and foot of metal used. Thank you for teaching me Nesbittese and sacrificing your lunch with food, energy, and time. Thanks for always offering your 2 cents, even though you only paid me with 1, and helping me truly find my home. I didn't belong until I set foot in that shop, and I'm so glad by some miracle I wound up in yours.
I wouldn't be who I am today without such a caring mentor, advisor, and friend like you, and I'll always be grateful. Sincerely, your favorite student, Allie. And to all my other 14 million advisors, thank you for always being such an amazing group of supporters. I love you all.
Miss Strobel, thank you for always encouraging me to go beyond what I thought I could do. Your support has never had an end, and you were always willing to answer my questions, whether if it was about class material or a competition. You made every moment more fun and less stressful, and I am really grateful I had the chance to be your student. Mr. Kindle, thank you for believing in me before I believed in myself. You pushed me to try new things, and I'm so grateful you encouraged me to do it floral and stick with it. I loved every moment, from our practices making arrangements to the van rides, even if your singing wasn't always the best. Those memories mean more to me than you probably realize. Mr. Vadia, thank you for supporting me, my siblings, and my whole family. You've always pushed me to keep going, even when things felt difficult. You've made a difference in so many students' lives, and I'm thankful to be one of those many, many students. Thank you for being there through every moment of my journey.
Mrs. Williams, thank you for being the person who always saw the potential in me. I couldn't have asked for a better personal office than taking over your shop day after day. You pushed me when I needed to be pushed, lended a hand when I needed help, and even pulled out the hog sprayer when I really deserved it. You were always more than just my teacher, mentor, a friend, and a role model. I owe so much of my success and the person I am today to you. I'm also very sorry for all the cheese that I stuck to your ceiling. I'm eternally grateful you always put up with my shenanigans and gave me another chance. And to the rest of Meridian, I wouldn't be here without you guys. Love y'all.
Mrs. Wells, even though I only had you for 1 year, by convincing me to compete in the creed, you opened the door for me to love public school. Mrs. Sharp, I knew the day you showed up with donuts to freshman registration, we were going to get along. Thank you for being one of my biggest cheerleaders when running for state office. Thank you for always sharing your personal experiences and advice. I will always be forever grateful for every interview you set up and our talks in your classroom. I am lucky to be able to call you my advisor, and Preston is even luckier to get to call you theirs. Mr. Crosley, the man, the myth, the legend. I will forever credit you with helping me reach my full potential in the FFA. Thank you for believing in the quiet girl in your 8th grade intro to ag class. And every team you coach me in, you have taught me the importance of hard work, accountability, and what it truly means to live the FFA standards in and out of the Blue Jacket. Even though I will never drink half and half the same after you gave me expired milk in dairy foods practice. Mrs. Sharp and Mr. Crosley, thank you for always believing. Mrs. C, Miss Nelson, thank you for everything you've poured into me over the years. You challenged me, supported me, corrected me, and believed in me, even when I wasn't sure I believed in myself. Mrs. C, none of us will ever forget the one time you confidently turned up a one-way street going the wrong direction. The realization and the very quick correction and all of us panicking, but you handled it and kept going. And that's exactly how you've led me. When I messed up or doubted myself, didn't let me stay stuck, you helped me fix it and move forward. Miss Nelson, I know you don't exactly wear your emotions on your sleeve, so I won't make this too sentimental, but I will never forget the time you literally pulled the van over, made us learn a line dance on the side of the road. Only you could turn a travel day into a choreography lesson. Thanks for culturing me with music on those van rides. I'll forever associate certain songs with FFA trips and long drives together. Because of both of you, I didn't just grow within FFA, I grew as a leader and as a person. You taught me preparation matters, excellence is not accidental, and character matters more than recognition. Thanks for honest feedback, high standards, and the belief you placed in me long before I fully placed it in myself. I am who I am as a leader because of the two of you, and I'll forever carry your lessons with me far beyond the Blue Jacket.
Mr. Blackstock, it's crazy to think of the full circle moment you have shared with my family. From becoming my mother's advisor at CUNA her senior year of high school to now being a part of my story over 30 years later. I can say with full confidence that I wouldn't be here without you. You pushed me in every competition, whether I volunteered or you volunteered me, spending countless of hours helping me study for meets or ag biz. You brought your goofy charm and endless wisdom to Melba, where I've seen you impact students in ways I may have never seen before. I'm proud to be one of those students.
You all haven't just touched our lives, you've touched many students' lives, and we are so grateful that you all have decided to dedicate yourselves to dealing with students like us and making the future of agriculture just a little bit brighter. Our advisors, thank you.
Our advisors have helped to shape us as outstanding leaders and people. We truly appreciate the countless hours they put into each individual member. Will all past and current Idaho FFA advisors please stand at this time? We truly appreciate our advisors and everything they do to support our dreams. Guys, please give me one last round of applause for our advisors.
Did you make it to the Milky Way? See the lights are fading, and it is a radar. Tell me, did you fall from a shooting star? And Scarlet, you missed me while you were looking for yourself out there.
In a session full of so many fantastic leaders, it's only fitting that we bring this next speaker along our trip down memory lane. Coming all the way from Tennessee, Idaho FFA, let's get ready to welcome the National FFA Southern Region Vice President, T. Wayne Williams.
It says I'm running behind, I bet I picked up. It's a race and there ain't no room for someone in second place.
Idaho FFA, how are we doing tonight? It is so good to be here in the gym state. And let me just say, this runaway dance that y'all got, that's a tradition like I have never seen. Now, it's going to take me a few times to get down all the moves from here to here in the running, but I'll get it down. I'll get it down. And getting to see all of these traditions on day one, I'm curious. Let me hear if you or your family has a family tradition. Let me hear it. Okay. They're usually similar, familiar, repeated. They may be as simple as a Sunday dinner or a backyard football game that we play so long it gets so dark out that we can't even see the ball. Or maybe it's a board game or card game night. Or maybe, just maybe, it's all piling into the same living room to watch some football. Where's my football fans at? Well, whatever that family tradition for you may be, for my family, we have a tradition every Thursday night in the spring and summer. It's T-ball night. And if you were to arrive at that little T-ball field in Cannon County, Tennessee, you would notice one thing in common: people wearing a similar kind of shirt. Now, on the back, it would have the player's number, and then across the top, where a last name's supposed to be, there will be a title: aunt, mom, granddad, cousin. A small detail that shows what really matters there. People showing up for people. And then you got my nieces, Danny, Dallas, and Anna Mae. And they're doing what T-ball kids do best. I mean, Dallas, she's in the outfield, and she's picking grass like it's a full-time job. Danny's always running with her helmet half sideways like she's about to enter into the NASCAR pit crew. And Anna Mae, well, Anna Mae is guarding third base like she is personally guarding Fort Knox. Ain't nothing getting past her. The coaches, they're trying their best. The rules are flexible. You always got that one kid who hits the ball and then runs to the wrong base in complete confidence. Now the crowd, well, the crowd's electric for 4-year-olds. I mean, they're cheering like it's the College World Series. But there is one moment at that little T-ball field that my family will never forget. It's when my niece Danny stepped up to the plate. Now, that afternoon, the wind, it was just strong enough to cut across your face. The sun, it was high and bright up in the air. No shade, no clouds, just pure heat. Danny, she stepped up to the plate. She set her feet. She gripped that bat, and she connected. Tink! And that ball, it pops up in the air, and it hangs there right where the grass meets the infield. Now, this is where the noise begins. Our blue team cheering section immediately stands up. My sister, the first base coach, Molly, starts yelling, "Run, Danny, run!" Danny rounds first. The dirt is kicking up under her cleats. My dad's favorite choice of cheese fries for a T-ball snack, he suddenly put them down like they don't matter anymore as he's jumping up and down. Danny rounds second, and well, the orange team that we were playing against. First baseman, he was going to get the ball, but now he's completely lost focus. Now the real game to him is catching the butterfly. Danny rounds third, and she puts the Jets on like Earnhardt in the 98 Daytona 500. If you haven't noticed by now, we're a big NASCAR family. She gives it everything she's got, and she hits home. Her first home run. And in that moment, it was everything that you would want a family moment to be. Everyone smiling, everyone cheering, everyone laughing. One of those moments you wish you could just grab a remote, press pause on, and stay there a little bit longer. But there was something missing. And it wasn't something small. It wasn't something you could just ignore. And at the time, I didn't realize how important that missing piece really was. But once I did, I couldn't stop thinking about how important that missing piece really meant. Now, speaking of family traditions, for my family, it's T-ball night. But for some of my friends back in Tennessee, they love to go fishing with their families. Who in here likes some good old fishing? Well, for all of those people who just cheered, that is not me. I have never understood the appeal of sitting on a 5-gallon bucket, holding on to a pole, hoping that bobber finally sinks, when all I really want to do is throw down the pole and grab another swig of Mountain Dew. It's just never been my idea of a good time. But when I was 10 years old, my best friend Bradley, he loved to go. One day I'm over at his house, and we're having an intense one-on-one basketball game. I mean the type with no fouls, no refs, just straight up bragging rights. I'm up by 2. I'm about to make a move to the basket when into the driveway pulls this white pickup truck. And out steps Grumpy Harry, Bradley's grandpa. Now, to a 10-year-old, Grumpy Harry looks huge. About 6'1", thick mustache, eyebrows that always made him look angry. He didn't talk much, and he didn't have to. One look from old Grumpy Harry, and you knew this was a guy you did not want to mess with. But when old Grumpy Harry did speak, by golly, people would listen. He steps out of that truck and he says, "Jump on in, boys. We're going to Lucky Lad Catfish Farms." Meanwhile, I'm still standing here with basketball in hand thinking, is this guy really about to ruin what felt like my Game 7 NBA Finals victory over Bradley? But Bradley, he's fired up. He grabs the fishing poles, and before I can object, we're in the truck heading to the fishing hole. And there we are with those nasty chicken livers. We set our hooks, we set our chairs, we cast out. Now, Grumpy Harry knew that 10-year-olds, they could get pretty impatient. That's when he turned to us and said, "Now, boys, if you'll just slow down and stay put, I promise you'll catch a fish." So we sit, and we sit, and we sit, till eventually Bradley looks at me and says, "I'm tired of this spot. I'm moving to another spot." Now, I didn't move because I trusted old Grumpy Harry. I just simply didn't want to mess with my chair. So Bradley, he gets up, moves out to another spot, cast out, and just about that time, my bobber sinks. Whoop. And now you've got a 90-pound, 10-year-old T-Wayne fighting for his life as I feel like I am reeling in Jaws. I mean, I haul in a big old catfish. And by the time I get casted back out, I notice Bradley, he's moved to another spot. And now another spot. And then my bobber sinks again. Whoop. And this time, ladies and gentlemen, I don't feel like I'm reeling in Jaws. I feel like I am reeling in the Megalodon. By the way, for the little fishing that I do, I'm the fisherman that really likes to make sure I can get that camera angle just right of that fish so it looks like 10 times bigger than it actually is. And that cycle, it repeats itself for the next 3 hours until eventually I've got 9 catfish feeling like a real Bill Dance, and Bradley, a 0. And as we're walking back to the truck, I can't help but think about what old Grumpy Harry had said at the start of the day. Now, boys, if you'll just slow down and stay put, I promise you'll catch a fish. Slow down, and you'll see what's right in front of you. Now, at the time, I thought that he was just talking about fishing. But the older I've gotten, the more I've realized that he was talking about how easy it is in this life to get to moving so fast to where we can't even notice what's right in front of us. Now, I also understand that the world that we live in today in 2026 sounds the complete opposite. The world says to be more like Bradley, impatient, moving to the next spot. The world says to do more, chase the next thing, scroll on that phone one more time, until eventually we're moving so fast that we can't even notice what we're trading away. Where in our lives have we moved from one fishing spot to the next? Was it an activity that we jumped into because everyone else did? A goal that we're trying to chase because it looks impressive? A schedule that it'll keep us busy, never fulfilled? Because sometimes the simple truth is this. Sometimes the fish are right in front of us. Not at the next spot, not somewhere else around the pond, right where we are. But slowing down doesn't create what matters. No. Slowing down just gives us a chance to finally see what's right in front of us. And so the question stands, well, what is right in front of us? If it's not always a big old catfish, then what are we actually slowing down for? Now, despite how much I can't stand a fish, I feel like I've been chasing fish all of my life. I've had some pretty big goals. Kindergarten, it was being first in line for ice cream at lunch on Fridays. Fourth grade, it was winning the pickup basketball game with my teammates Jack and Will. But at 16 years old, T. Wayne Williams had the biggest goal he could possibly imagine, to win the Tennessee State Trap Shooting Contest. Who in here has ever heard of trap shooting or skeet shooting before? Okay. For those of us who haven't, trap shooting is a sport where you step up to a shooting line with shotgun in hand, you call for a target, and out flies an orange circular target. And you get one shot, one chance to hit it. No redos. And at the state competition I'm talking about, we shoot at 200 of these targets over 2 days. If you miss one, you're lucky if you got a chance at winning. Competition is stiff. So for 6 months of my life, 5 days a week, you can find me at my local trap shooting range. I mean, countless shotgun shells, shotgun lessons, until eventually my parents, my coaches, and even I believed in myself. June 16th, 2021, the day of the contest arrives. I step out onto that shooting line thinking, this is going to be my day. The first 13 targets go right as planned, knocking them all down. I step up for the 14th target, what should just be a simple routine target, and I miss. I'm thinking, okay, one miss, maybe I still got a chance. Step up again, and I miss. And then I miss again. Now the thoughts are coming through my head. What's happening? Not now, not today, not with everyone watching, until eventually I walk off of that line with 87 hits and 13 misses. No chance of my name being called come awards night. And I storm off to this park bench at Nashville Gun Club, and I'm devastated. The thoughts start coming through my mind. Early mornings, late afternoons, 6 months, 5 days a week. For this? How am I going to look my coaches in the eye? How am I going to look my parents who've invested so much time and effort in me in the eye? And sitting on that park bench, I felt absolutely invisible. Like the world could only see me for what I didn't do. And then I had a moment that changed my life. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see my grandpa, or as I call him, Pap, heading my way. Now, what you need to know about Pap is he is the biggest supporter in my life. I mean, every trap shoot, golf match, basketball game, birthday party, graduation, wherever I'm at, Pap's there supporting me. But this time when I see him, I don't feel relief. I feel dreadful because I don't want another encouragement, you'll go get them next time speech. No, I just want to sit here and be mad at myself. But Pap, he doesn't do any of that. Instead, he sits down beside me. He puts his arm around me, and he says these Tennessee country words that I'll never forget. He said, son, I just want you to know one thing. You're my hunting dog, even if you never catch a rabbit. Now, Pap, he didn't have to explain that. He showed me. Because, Pap, he could have chosen success. He could have chosen what looked impressive. He could have chosen a perfect round that day. But that didn't fit my description. I lost. I certainly didn't catch a rabbit. But Pap, he didn't choose any of it. Instead, he chose his grandson. Pap chose the people that he loved. Because choosing people looks like showing up when there's nothing there to celebrate. Choosing people looks like sitting down when it would be easier to walk away. Choosing people looks like reminding somebody that they matter without asking them to earn it. Who in your life needs to be chosen? Not corrected, not motivated, not fixed, just chosen. Is it that younger sibling that we keep saying later to, assuming they'll always be there? Is it that parent that we only talk to when we need a ride, money, or permission? Or maybe it's that friend that we say matters a lot, but now we only reply to when we have the time. Or maybe it's that classmate that we sit beside every single day, but we don't really see. Slowing down helps us see what's right in front of us. And what's right in front of us is people. We must choose people. Now, let me hear it if any of y'all have ever forgot about a project until the night before it was due. Well, you already know where this next one's going. I'm in the 5th grade at Short Mountain Elementary School when my teacher, Miss Susan, informs the entire class that we have to do the 4-H baking contest. Not for fun, for a grade. Side note, Idaho FFA, I'm not a baker. Fast forward to the night before the contest. It's about 9 o'clock at night. My mom's gone on a work trip. Me and my dad are watching the classic Andy Griffith Show on TV. I'm about 10 minutes before hitting the hay. Life is good. And then it hits me. Oh no. I turn. Dad, completely forgot. I got to make brownies for the 4-H baking contest tomorrow. It's required. Now, here's something that you need to know about my dad. This is a man's man. I mean, calloused hands from working on equipment, fixing fence, hauling hay, highly skilled tradesman, tool and die maintenance, the highest that you can reach in that field. When my mom took a job overseeing 68 global manufacturing plants all over this world, he made a decision that not a lot of people ever really see. He decided to step away from that dream job, not because he had to, but because he wanted to support his wife and he wanted to be present in his kid's life. Now, he also doesn't like to get out of his recliner after 8:30 at night, so I knew what his response was going to be when this was at 9 o'clock. He looks at me and he says, "Son, are you kidding me? I don't know how to make brownies." And for the next hour and a half, you can find me and my dad in the kitchen looking at a little recipe trying to figure out how to make brownies. I mean, we're cracking eggs, flours everywhere, the counter, the floor, probably the dog. We are just mixing things, hoping that something comes together until eventually we end up with some brownies. And I arrived the next morning at school feeling cautiously confident. I mean, the brownies, they looked rich. Miss Sarah Brazel, our 4-H agent, she picks up my brownie. She takes a bite. And she says, very moist. Safe to say I got a participant ribbon that day. But here's the part that matters. Still to this day, me and my dad talk about that night. Not the grade, not the ribbon, that night. And here's what my dad did that stuck with me. He slowed down and chose me. And I've thought about that a lot since then. And I've wondered, how many moments have I missed out on? Not because I didn't care, but because I cared about other things. And looking back at that night, I think I learned this. Choosing the people in our life over the pace of our life, it usually doesn't look heroic. It looks like getting up when we're tired. It looks like showing up to moments that we don't think matter that much until one day they're the memories that we remember the most. Because you see, my dad had done exactly what old Grumpy Harry had told us to do at the pond. He slowed down and recognized what was right in front of him. He had made a choice, like my grandpa at the gun club. He didn't choose a blue ribbon because I didn't earn one. He didn't choose a perfect batch of brownies because we certainly didn't make them. Instead, he chose his son. That night in the kitchen, it would have never existed if my dad wouldn't have got up out of that recliner, if he wouldn't have chose to stay, if he wouldn't have chose a mess, if he wouldn't have chose the people in his life over the pace of his life. Now, my dad, he didn't stop being driven. He just refused to let speed replace people. He didn't just give up on life. He just had his priorities in the right order. Who in your life They don't need you to be impressive. They just need you to be there. Because choosing the people in our life over the pace of our life, it isn't about slowing down our ambition. It's not. It's about making sure the people that we love the most never get outrun by that ambition. It's about choosing to sit down with our grandparents on a Sunday evening instead of heading out to one more hangout, one more practice. It's about choosing to express love to that friend who just failed a test or lost a game. Even recognizing the person who always says, I'm good, and asking one more question anyway. Remember that T-ball game I told you about earlier? The sun high, bright up in the air, wind just strong enough to cut across your face. But there was just that one missing piece. Well, that missing piece was me. The wind cutting across my face was actually just the AC blasting in my truck. The sun, it wasn't overhead. It was pouring through my windshield. The ground shaking from people cheering was actually just bumps on the road as I sat in standstill traffic, coming off another long day as an intern in the office of Governor Bill Lee in Nashville. An internship that I had taken because I thought it looked good on a resume. Another achievement, another box to check. And I was hoping to make it back in time for the game, but I'm still an hour and a half away, and I'm in this standstill traffic. So I'm watching this game on a FaceTime call with my mom when she pans the camera around, and she shows my whole family there in their blue Cannon T-ball shirts. But at the very end of the bleacher, there's a shirt that nobody's wearing. It's got my niece's numbers on the back, and across the top it says Uncle T. That's my name. And that's when I knew that I had been choosing the pace of my life over the people that I loved most. And then the question hit me, T. Wayne, when will it ever be enough? Enough achievements, enough titles, enough reasons to say, hey, I'll be there the next time. When will I stop chasing the next thing to prove myself and start choosing the people that matter the most? When will I choose the people in my life over the pace of my life? And sitting in that truck that afternoon, I think I finally came to realize this. We must slow down or we'll miss what's right in front of us. We must choose people, even when it's hard or inconvenient. And we must choose the people in our life over the pace of our life because that's where true meaning is. Now, Idaho FFA, I don't tell you this all tonight to act like I've got this one all figured out because I can promise you this is something that I'm still battling to this day. But if you remember anything from what I say tonight, I hope it's this. In this life that we live, there are actually very few things that matter. And we should be wholeheartedly about those things. Thank you so much, Idaho FFA. I look forward to the rest of this week. Thank you. Lawrence.
We are incredibly grateful to the National FFA Southern Region Vice President, T. Wayne Williams, for joining us at the Idaho FFA State Convention and for sharing his inspiring remarks. This is a moment that will be remembered and cherished by all. Thank you, T. Wayne, for your uplifting words and for joining us at the Idaho FFA State Convention and our special moment. Thank you.
I went skydiving and I went Rocky Mountain climbing and I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Mansion, and I
Man, those memories never cease to make me smile.
For real, I couldn't stop laughing after seeing that picture of Gabe again.
Maybe we had some hiccups along the way, but we also had some pretty great moments too. In this session, we watched the posting of the colors, heard from our session sponsors, and recognized a new chapter in Idaho FFA.
We also heard opening remarks from Idaho FFA supporters and a keynote address from the National FFA Southern Region Vice President, T. Wayne Williams.
Be sure to be back here tomorrow for session 2 with a whole new set of session chairs and so many more moments to share.
Now these old hags better go take a nap, but we'll still look forward to making the most of each moment throughout this week at the 95th Annual Idaho FFA State Convention.
I'm sure I just can't smile. Oh, I'm trapped. Oh, I'm trapped.
Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have the following announcements. Thank you again to the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation for kicking off our first session and serving as our convention future leaders sponsor. Thank you for supporting Idaho FFA. I would like to call your attention to our digital convention program where you will find descriptions and locations of workshops, tours, and delegate meetings. Please visit m.growidahoFFA.org for full convention information. Workshops start tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Please clean up after yourselves and quickly vacate the classrooms as you leave after the workshops. We need to allow the CSI instructors, staff, and students to return to those rooms on time for their classes. Please be respectful and quiet in the hallways as classes are in session. Please note the following changes to the arena. The arena will open 1 hour prior to session start time, and pre-sessions begin 1/2 hour before session start time. We ask all students to please wait outside the doors of the CSI gymnasium prior to session start time and to be courteous of the CSI athletes using the facilities. Please use the stairs on the bleachers to access floor seating. Do not use the south stairs for accessing the floor. We ask anyone needing to access backstage to use the hallway on the west side of the gym. We will not allow backstage access down the north stairwell. A reminder that award finalists will have reserved seating for their session of their awards. Please plan on arriving early and checking in to find your reserved seating. Please visit the Career and Industry Expo located in the Fine Arts lobby. Enter to win a $75 Visa gift card while you're there and learn about the Idaho ag industry. The expo hall opens tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. in the Career and Industry Expo, where you will find an FFA merch store, Stay FFA sweatshirts, and the Days of Service activities. Session 2 will be held in the CSI Gymnasium tomorrow afternoon. Doors open at 12 p.m., pre-session begins at 12:30 p.m., and the session starts at 1 p.m. We hope you all will join us.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn the first general session of the 95th Idaho FFA State Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. I now declare this session adjourned. Flashbang.
Your heartbeat. Dream. Wondering if it's me you'll see, yeah. Then I kiss your eyes and thank God we're together. Just wanna stay with you in this moment. I don't smile. I don't sleep 'cause I miss you. And I don't miss you. Feel dream again. The sweetest dream I still miss you. And I don't miss you. Yes. I just wanna be